Today I want to tell you a story about being on Team Jesus. I admit it, I'm a sports fan. I love me a good football game and maybe a Hail Mary pass to win, or an exciting basketball game that has this decided in the very last second by a basket from the middle of the court. Oh, and I love a good track and field day. Runners and jumpers and throwers are all in my wheelhouse. I wait with unbridled enthusiasm for the summer and winter Olympic Games. I've been known to jump out of my seat and throw my arms up in the air while screaming in delight to the players of such sports when they score a goal or make a fantastic play or win the race by a mile. I'm hopelessly addicted. I guess I could be addicted to many worse things, but still, it's not very ladylike. My mother told me that when I was at her house. But now that I'm a more mature person, of course, I still do it. My all-time favorite sport, though, is baseball. Taking me out to the ball game will win you brownie points faster than most anything. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks and a couple of hot dogs, and I'll sit there till the cows come home, or whenever. And yes, it's a slow game, I get it. But when you feel it's dragging, you just get up and go back to the concession stand where there's hot buttered popcorn, cold drinks to be consumed, and you can waste more time standing in line. And it's great sport. Everyone's always friendly and chatty, and they'll tell you their life story even without asking. It's a wonder, it really is. I know that I'm really showing my small town mentality here. I'm not a bit ashamed. Life was so much simpler when I was growing up in small Texas town, and I want to keep as much of that with me in my head as possibly can, and baseball is one way to do it. I learned early to love ball games. My father took me to slow-pitch softball games in season, and I was hooked. I loved watching my brothers play ball, and I've had such pleasure watching various members of my own family play ball, from Little League, baseball, girls softball, college basketball, and now the majors. I'm a super fan, in a good way, I hope. Something I think about is how some sports teams have a mascot or a logo that really makes sense, like the Dallas Cowboys with a lone star on their helmets, but some teams have a mascot that seems like a real stretch. For instance, my hometown mascot was a kangaroo. When have you ever seen a bunch of kangaroos in a stock pen in Texas? I just can't understand how we got stuck with kangaroos. Only thing I can think of is that it starts with a K, like my hometown of Killeen, or that they can jump pretty good, and maybe they can hide a football in their pouch to fool their competition once, but no more than once. They can box pretty good, but our school's never had a boxing team, so there you are, a conundrum. I think the most interesting thing about sports, though, is not their names or their mascots, it's their fans. One thing about sports fans in general is that they like to identify with their team. We wear hats, jerseys, and t-shirts with team logos emblazoned on them, and carry towels and pennants to wave, and styrofoam hands that say, "We're number one." Some of them go so far as to paint their faces and their body parts with their team colors. Now, that may bridge too far for me. I don't know, maybe I'll try it someday. You never know what a good sports fan might do. All of this makes me wonder if we as Christians want to identify as closely with Christ and His church as we do with our favorite team. My word for this year is witnessing. And in thinking about what that means for me, I've concluded, it just means what it says. I need to step up my witnessing for Christ in my daily life. Witnessing not only to my church friends, but to my friends who are agnostic or indifferent or backsliding their way through life. Jesus wants us to show we are His and we love Him and want to serve Him, not by waving pennants or wearing team logos or painting our faces, but by how we live. He wants our behavior to show that we worship Him and Him only. That's why self-control is so important. When we exercise self-control, instead of getting angry, we admit that some things are more important than our petty resentments. When we use our self-control, instead of lashing out with profanity, we show that we submit to an authority that's higher than ourselves. And we use our self-control instead of drugs or alcohol, we're showing that we worship God and not our own desires. My prayer for you is that you will remember to relax and listen to the still small whispers of Jesus. Whispers that remind you how much you mean to him. He's our captain, our coach, and our cheerleader. We need to remember to give him our allegiance and support, and he will reciprocate, and you will be blessed beyond measure. Go team! And that's my story for today.
Hey, thank you for joining us for Refuel Reignited. If this segment blessed you, let us know about it. If you have prayer requests or praise reports, contact us through the website or the app. We want to hear from you. Keep up with the latest discipleship opportunities there too. CUMCTulsa.com. God bless you today. May your heart for Jesus be refueled, reignited in every way.